Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be covering a commission job that I've been asked to do, and that is going to be a World Cup trophy. So without any further ado, my name's Adam, welcome to Max 3D Makes, and let's get straight into the video. Okay, so here we are in Maker World, and this is the model I'm going to be using. I'll leave a link for it in the description of the video. But we're going to set our print profile to P1S because that's the printer I'm using. And then we'll go for full size, 36cm AMS all printers. Now, as the name suggests, it's set up for an AMS unit, but as we're going to be painting this, there's no point printing in multiple colours. But we're going to use this one anyway because it's the only print profile that's been posted that is in full size. So we're going to click that, and then we're going to open it in Bamboo Studio. So when it opens up in Bamboo Studio, you'll see this big yellow block here, and it will probably have a purge tower at the back, and it will have 4 colours listed here. I've just gone ahead, clicked the 3 dots next to each one and deleted the other 3 colours, and then set this to my generic PLA print profile, because that is the filament that I'm going to be using. Now we've got it on 2 plates. Doesn't matter too much with the first plate, we can leave that how it is, but with the second one with the sphere, we're going to click on the model, we're going to click variable layer height at the top. We're going to drop it down to quality, we'll click adaptive, and then we will click on the model. It should turn green like this, which means we will get a better surface finish of the sphere when it starts finishing up with the final layers. It's going to take a little bit longer, but the trade-off is we get a better quality print out of it. So when we're happy with it, we're going to go over to the preview tab, we're going to click slice plate, and then we'll slice them both, and it will give us our print times. Now I've already gone ahead and sliced these, and we can see if we click on the graph here, the base is going to take 6 hours and 35 minutes and take 229.5 grams of filament. And the top half is going to take a little bit longer at 13 hours, 13 minutes, and it's also going to take 234 grams of filament. Now, I've not got quite enough filament left on my spool to do both prints with the one spool, but what will happen is the second print will run, the printer will detect that it's run out of filament, and then I'll just put in a fresh spool and it will carry on from where it left off. So we'll turn on time-lapse mode, we'll send these both to the printer, and we'll then watch these print. And then once they're printed, we can get these started with the post-processing and the painting. So let's get to it. Okay, so we've got the trophy fresh off the printer. It's in 2 halves that go together with pegs and holes to help line it up. So we're going to glue these 2 halves together, fill the seam, sand it down, and then we can hit this with some primer, some spray paint, and then finish up with some details. That's going to be pretty much it for this. It's a nice straightforward one. So we'll take this over to the workshop, get it glued together, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got the trophy, we just need to glue the 2 halves together, so we can get some super glue. There we go. Just going to press. Then we're going to get some super glue accelerator. Just going to clean up some of the stringing with a blowtorch. There we go, ready for some filler. Now, in fairness to the designer, they've not left a massive seam that needs filling, but we're going to go in with some Humbrol model filler anyway. So yeah, let's get to it. Go. So we will leave that to dry and then we'll come back in a few hours and that'll be ready to sand. Okie dokie, so the filler is now dried and we're ready to sand it down. So we've got a sanding sponge here and we've got some 400 grit sandpaper. I'm going to dry sand it for now because we're going to go in with some filler primer and some normal primer, and we'll sand that down, and we're going to go really high up the grits so that this goes nice and smooth. We're even going to do a little bit of wet sanding as well. But for now, we just need to get this filler down so that it's just over the seam. So we're going to start off with some sandpaper and then we'll finish off with a sponge as well. So let's get to it. So we're going to be using some Halford's filler primer to paint this. It's quite windy today. Okay, so the World Cup trophy has now been filler primed, so we're going to leave this to dry for a couple of hours and then we'll be able to go at this with some sandpaper, and then we'll go in with the primer and the paint.
Okay, so we have wet sanded this with 400 grit sandpaper, and I'm happy with how this has turned out. So we're going to go and spray this with some primer now, and then we'll let that dry, and then we'll go in again with the wet sand before we go in with the metallic paint. So let's get to it. Okay, we're outside, it's quite windy, but we're going to use some Halford's red primer, and we're just going to spray this with a nice light coat, and then we'll let that dry. Okay, so we've got the primer coat on now, so we're going to leave that to dry, and then we'll be able to wet sand this before we go in with the paint. Really happy with how this has turned out, it looks really good. Okay, so the primer has dried. I'm really happy with how this has turned out. So we're going to go in again with some 400 grit wet sandpaper, and we're going to get this sanded down so it's super smooth and ready for that paint. So let's get to it. I've already ripped up my sandpaper into squares, just so I don't have to do it with wet hands later on. But yeah, there's the bowl of water, let's get to some wet sanding. Okay, so whilst it doesn't seem massively noticeable, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's sanded down really nicely, and although some of the primer's come off, it stayed in the low spots, which is exactly what it needed to do. And we've now got a perfect dull shine to this, which means it is ready for the gold spray paint. So we can take this outside, give it a hit with some gold, and then yeah, we'll leave that to dry overnight. So normally for the gold, my go-to would be Rust-Oleum Metallic in the bright gold brilliant finish, but I've not got a lot left and I don't think I'm going to have enough to do this entire trophy. So rather than trying to swap paints or wait to go and get another can, I dug into my spray paint stash and I found this WePro Chrome Effect paint, but it isn't a gold chrome. So we're going to give it a go, see how it does. I've done a test spray with both paints, and you can't really tell, but it's the Rust-Oleum on the left here and the WePro on the right, so they look pretty much identical, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this performs against the Rust-Oleum. So yeah, it looks good to me.
keen to make sure I've got within the middle of all the bricks as well, and there's no red showing through. It's looking pretty good to me. I'm not even done yet, and this spray paint is absolutely beautiful. I'm a massive fan of Rust-Oleum, but man, this stuff is on another level.
Okay, it is the next day, and this has dried absolutely beautifully. Really happy with how it looks. So all we need to do now is paint the 2 green stripes down at the bottom. So for this, we're going to be using the Tamiya clear green, and it will go on over the gold and look metallic. So this is going to do a really nice job. So we're just going to go in with a little brush and hand paint this now.
So there we have it. That is the commission completed for the World Cup trophy. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. Looks amazing, and yeah, it's probably one of the best prints I've ever done. I'm really happy with it. Now, the video that you've just seen is not 100% accurate to the process that took place. This has actually taken a couple of weeks to do because I've made a few mistakes throughout the project. Now, in the interest of transparency and showing you the full process of doing something like this, I have got together what I've called my disaster class, which is where I go through exactly in real time the mistakes as I make them, from my first iteration of completing this trophy to how I got it to this point. So it should be up on the channel now. Feel free to check it out and see just what happens when the projects don't always go according to plan. Now, that brings an end to today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop a like down below. If you want to see some more of this content, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop a comment of some other things that you'd like to see as well. But for now, I've been Adam. Thank you for watching Max 3D Makes, and I'll see you in the next one.